Good morning, Eagle Water friends and families.
Good morning.
And a very special Happy Mother's Day to all those in the congregation watching at home that we know, love, cherish, and enjoy.
Thank you.
Welcome to our Sunday morning worship service, offering both live streaming as well as kids ministry for children in 6th grade and younger. If you remain watching online, we do welcome and encourage you to join us here on Main Street, Reedsville, each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Also, for those watching online who feel led to give after the service, please scroll up to the Giveify app. For those of us in person, the offering plate is in the back. The Deeper Waters Youth Group for our teens will neither be meeting this evening nor next Sunday. The next Aftershock event for the area teens will be held on Sunday, May 15th at Black Hills Camp from 3 to 6 p.m. In addition to Travis Edgar being the guest speaker, there will be food, games, worship, and a bonfire. Please RSVP for this event at blackhillscampwv.com/aftershock. In addition, in support of that, we do need to plan to mow the grounds at the camp. If you're available at any point this week, please do reach out to Brenda such that we can get that coordinated in support of having it completed by this coming Sunday. Unfortunately, the kids ministry volunteers, along with the youth group bake sale, had to be postponed from yesterday. With that, if you've not yet made anything special for your mom, you'll be able to get a baked good after this morning's service. If you've gotten her something already, don't feel bad. You can take something for yourself, something to give to someone else, or just something to share and enjoy. So after the service, bake sale, those in the congregation, will be held in the fellowship hall. On Saturday, May 14th, the Reedsville Town Cleanup Day will be starting at 9 a.m. For those interested in participating, please contact me this week, as we'll be assisting in areas identified around the town by the group. Coffee and donuts will be provided in the morning, and our life group will be providing a sack lunch for all those who volunteer that day. The following Saturday, May 21st, we'll be having our spring fling day in the park, Paw Paw Park, with fellowship, a covered dish picnic, games and fun from 3:30 to 6:30. If you already know what you'd like to prepare, go ahead and sign up on the sheet on the bulletin board. In addition, on the bulletin board, you'll find a sign-up sheet for both cleaning the sanctuary as well as mowing the grounds here at the church between May and June. In addition, on the 21st, a general work day has been scheduled at Black Hills Free Methodist Church Camp. The 2022 camp season is quickly approaching. Anyone wants to take advantage of early registration to have a cost reduction for the camp, those need to be postmarked no later than June 1st. As a reminder, Teen Camp is scheduled between Sunday, June 19th and Thursday, June 23rd, followed by Children's Camp on Sunday, June 26th, through Wednesday, June 29th, and finally Family Camp, which will be held in July. In addition to Mother's Day, we do have a very special birthday today, as well as multiple this week. So if we could all just wish Cassie a very happy birthday this week. Now let's turn our attention. All right. Now we'll turn our attention back to the worship team.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that very much. Thank you. Happy birthday, Cass.
Thank you.
I didn't even know.
Happy birthday,
Oh, what? There you go. I hope there's not a correlation. Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Mother's Day. It is good to have Steve, our drummer, back. I'll tell you, I'm no keyboard player. I really do struggle up here, but it is so good and helpful having Steve because he almost makes me tolerable. And so it's good. Good to have him back. I'm going to ask you to stand as we just turn our hearts and our minds, our thoughts, our attention, our words, our voices to our Father this morning. Let's just love on him a little bit.
rather hold yours. I'd rather sleep floors than be anywhere else but here. Anywhere else but here. I'd rather hold yours. I'd rather sleep floors than be anywhere else but here. Anywhere else but here. I'd rather hold yours.
Zion Kids Church. You guys can be seated. And can you hand me my Bible here? Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. We're going to get into the message here in a second. But I was catching some prayer time this morning before service, and been praying through the Psalms, and today I landed on Psalm 31, and it's a real short one. It just says this. It says, "My heart is not proud, Lord. My eyes are not haughty. I do not concern myself with great matters or things too wonderful for me. But I have calmed and quieted myself. I am like a weaned child with its mother. Like a weaned child, I am content. Israel, put your hope in the Lord, both now and forevermore." When it says, that line that says like a weaned child, that's basically just saying like a toddler, like a 3 or 4 year old. You know, it's just been weaned and still little though. And you know, the picture that it paints there is just of this child feeling safe with mom, right? I mean, do you remember that? I mean, some of us had some, maybe not the greatest childhoods, but mine was a little crazy. But there was a period I remember when I was real little, you know, when I did feel very content and safe with my parents, right? Because at that age, just about everybody trusts mom and dad and feels safe close to them. And, you know, this is saying, look, I'm not some special person. I don't know everything and I don't have all the answers. I'm just a person. And I don't pretend to know things I don't know. I don't pretend to have it all together. But I am content with the Lord. You know, when I have Him, when I'm in relationship with Him, I'm content, I'm safe, I'm whole. And so I thought I'd try to sing this song for you guys this morning. I wrote this song when my kids were little, and I don't remember really well how to play it because it's been a long time. But I'm going to try. I might struggle through a little bit. Miss a chord here or there, but I think I remember the lyrics enough to where I can get through it. Okay. So I just want to sing this for you. I think it's appropriate. It just kind of fits Mother's Day. And just. When I look in the eyes of a child,
throwing toys and making noise and causing a ruckus. Another mess in their underpants that I've gotta clean. Could this be a snapshot of your mighty kingdom as you say, let them come unto me? Made it. All right. There's a lot of theology in that song. Maybe I'll unpack it one day. Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Mommy's Day.
Good morning.
Mommy or not, we're going to make it a happy day, right? Nate, if you can find my mic and just turn it down a little bit, just kind of go along up at the top until you find that green bar bouncing around. Just kind of making it sound okay. Thanks, buddy. I'm going to double your pay. What is 0 times 2 anyway? Let's pray and jump in. Father, thank you. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this opportunity. And Lord, I deeply pray this morning that you would accomplish your purpose today. Lord, I pray that you would anoint me to deliver this message. God, that your anointing would be upon me to bring it and upon your people to receive it. And I thank you for that in Jesus' name. And everybody said, Amen. Amen. If you want to turn somewhere, you can turn to Genesis 16. While we're getting there, I just want to remind you that in front of you there should be some little pieces of paper that say choose your own sermon. And summer is coming, and this is your opportunity to let me know what you want to hear about. So if you've got a question, if you have a topic, nothing is off the table. I mean, any question that you want to throw our way, we will be happy to at least try to tackle it, okay? So if you do have a question, if you do have a sermon topic that you want me to hit, just write it, fold it, set it on your pew, and I will gather them after service. I've already got like 4, so you better get on the ball, all right? I ain't that many summers or weeks in the summer, okay? So the 4 have already come in. So be writing those down. If you want me to notify you the Sunday I'm doing yours, put your name on it. If not, you can remain anonymous, all right? All right, so if you've been here any number of years, you know that I typically do not do the Mother's Day, Father's Day sermon thing. This is typically not what I do. Normally we're in a series right about this time, and I just keep plugging right along in the series. But today I feel compelled to do things a little different. I could not proceed with my plans this week. Every time I tried, I just couldn't do it. In my spirit, I couldn't do it. And I felt very compelled to speak to the women in our church today. And I'm going to do that today. But that doesn't get the men off the hook, all right? You guys can't check out and just sit there and eat donuts, because at the end of the service, I have an assignment for the men. Not one for you to do when you leave, but one we are going to do together today here. And I know that may make some of you uncomfortable, but JJ will tell you I have no problem making other guys feel uncomfortable, all right? Pushing them to do stuff that is not, doesn't feel real good. So, with that said, let's go. So the story of Abraham, most of us know it. Abram's living his life. He's just hanging out, doing his thing. God comes to him and speaks to him. He is still Abram at this point. He says, I want you to pack up, get your family, leave your home, leave everything you've ever known, and I want you to go to a land that I will show you. And I'm going to bless you. And from you, I'm going to bring a great nation. And that nation was to bless the world. And so Abram obeyed. He got up. He took his family and he took off walking. Years and years later, he arrives at the land that the Lord was leading him to go to. And by this point, Abram and his wife Sarai are getting up in years. Sarai is pretty much past childbearing years. And this whole promise of an inheritance is not looking real good. And so Sarai comes up with an idea. And this is where we meet a woman named Hagar, that we're going to talk about today. In Genesis 16, we meet Hagar. Hagar is Sarai's slave. Okay? It's not slavery in the way that we think about slavery in American history. It's a little less brutal, but it's still servitude, right? She is an Egyptian slave. She is probably treated well, but she's a slave nonetheless. She doesn't have her own identity. She is the servant of Sarai, right? She's not her own person. She doesn't have her own identity. She doesn't have her own dreams, at least dreams that can reasonably be fulfilled, right? She doesn't have her own family. She exists to serve the needs of Abram's family without ever truly being a part of it. That's Hagar's situation. Hagar is a woman who is unseen. She's there, she's in the room, but she is unseen. And so now Sarai, she comes up with this idea. She and Abram are getting way too old to have kids. She's past the age, right? Abram could still possibly father kids, but she's way past the age. And so she gets this idea, and she comes to Abram and she says, I got an idea. I'm going to give you my servant, Hagar. You sleep with her, and she'll get pregnant, and our inheritance, this great nation that God has assigned us to bring into the world, will come through her. Problem solved. Jason's shaking his head. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not solved. But in her mind, problem solved. In case you're wondering, fellas, not a good idea. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. Common practice in that day, but not a good idea. It really was common practice in that day because in that time, having children was not just about the joy of having children. It was about survival. It was about carrying on the family name. It was about carrying on the family livelihood. It was about making this thing work. You needed hands to work to take care of the animals and to do the work. Like, this was about survival. Not only survival, but now they've got this mission from God where they've been called to have this great nation that's going to bless the world. And so Sarai, in her desperation, knowing she is too old to have kids, she gives Abram Hagar. And now, all of a sudden, Hagar has something special. that she can contribute. She has gone from being a slave property to now she's got something special that she can contribute. And maybe, just maybe, for the first time in her life, maybe she will be seen. Maybe. So we don't know how long it took. We don't have all the salacious details. But Abram does agree to the plan. And at some point, Hagar realizes that she's missed her cycle. One morning she wakes up and she is hanging over the sink, vomiting her guts out. She's extra tired. She's craving popcorn in the middle of the night. Not that I know anything about that, but she's craving popcorn in the middle of the night. She is clearly pregnant. And so now Hagar, this slave, is in some way part of Abram's family. She's got a new identity. She's going to be the one to bear the child of the most powerful man in that region. She's finally got some clout. This is going to give her new respect among the people in the region. She's going to be a part of something, not just a servant to something. And maybe even Hagar, maybe she even starts having some dreams of her own. Wow, new life, new day. But then you get this weird verse, verse 4. That says this. He, being Abram, slept with Hagar, and she conceived. And when she knew she was pregnant, she began to despise her mistress. What's that all about? To my male brain, that doesn't make any sense. I could understand if Sarai began to despise her, right? To become jealous. Oh man, she can give Abram a baby. That's all these years. But I can see that if Sarah was the one doing the hating. But why is Hagar the one doing the hating? Us guys, I mean, we have no idea. It doesn't make sense to us because when we look at it, it's like Hagar won. Like, what's the big deal? Like, she scored the point, right? She was able to do it. She won the contest. She should be spiking the football and, like doing the dance in the end zone, however she can pull it off. Why is Hagar despising Sarah? But I bet the ladies in the room have a different perspective. And ladies, when you go home, you can clear it up better to your husbands when you get there, okay? But I'm going to do the best I can. All right? I think maybe, you guys can correct me after service, ladies, if I'm wrong, but I think the reason that Hagar is despising Sarai is because no woman wants to be useful. She wants to be loved. She doesn't want to be useful. She wants to be loved, cherished, appreciated, seen. She wants to be seen. Inside, I think, I may be wrong. You can't say any generalities these days anymore, but I'm just going to say, I think in the heart of every woman is a little girl in a princess dress, twirling through the living room, getting between her daddy and the TV so that she is the one thing in the room that is seen. I don't think people lose that when they get older. Hagar does not want to be useful. Hagar wants to be seen. And so guys, you can write that one down and be done for the day and go home and have all you need for the rest of the week, all right? Hagar does not want to be useful. Hagar wants to be seen. I want to hear the male voices. Hagar wants to be seen. But she's not. Even after all this, Hagar still isn't seen. Listen to verses 5 and 6. Then Sarai said to Abraham, "You're responsible." You're responsible for the wrong I'm suffering. I put my slave in your arms, and now that she knows she's pregnant, she despises me. May the Lord judge between you and me. Guys, we do know how to get ourselves in a mess. Your slave is in your hands, Abram said, with fear in his eyes. Oh, I added that. Your slave is in your hands, Abram said. Do with her whatever you think is best. Then Sarai mistreated Hagar, so she fled from her. Everything has changed for Hagar, and yet nothing has changed. Hagar is now carrying the child of the most powerful man in the region. But the baby doesn't bring the love she hoped it would. She's still just a useful tool to keep things going in Abram's family, to keep things moving smoothly, to make sure the dinners get cooked, and the clothes get washed, and the camels get watered, and the baby gets born, so that the family can carry on and do its thing. Useful, but not truly loved. Useful, but not truly seen. And we know she's not seen by Abram's response. Do with her whatever you want. I mean, there it is. Useful, but not seen. Hagar is still unseen. Sarai mistreats her to the point that Hagar runs away. We come to verse 7. The angel of the Lord found Hagar near a spring in the desert. It was the spring that is beside the road to shore. And he said, Hagar, slave of Sarai, where have you come from? And where are you going? I'm running away from my mistress, she answered. So Hagar is so mistreated by Sarai that she leaves. She runs away out into the desert. I mean, where are you going to go, right? I mean, but it's bad enough that she's going to risk the desert. Good morning. She's going to risk the desert to get away from what she's going through at home. So she runs out into the desert. And that is where the Lord appears to her. It says the angel of the Lord, but there's a lot of reason to believe that this was Jesus, the second person of the Trinity, manifesting himself to this slave woman. He comes to where she is. And he doesn't just come to where she is, he knows her. There's no introduction necessary. He knows her by name, and he knows her situation. He's always known her. And when he speaks to her, he tells her the truth. He tells her the truth of motherhood. He tells her the truth of life. He tells her that from her belly is going to come both good and bad. If you read on, you'll see he tells her that from her womb is going to come a healthy, strong baby boy who is going to have too many descendants to count. What a blessing! But with those descendants will come hostility and conflict. Both good and bad will come through her life. Both good and bad will come through her belly. And yet, he tells her to continue on. In spite of all that, he says, go back to your mistress and submit to her. Continue to be faithful, Hagar, in all the glory and in all the pain. Continue on. In all the good and in all the bad, continue on. Continue to be faithful. Go back and submit to your mistress. And for the first time, Hagar is not only seen, but she sees. She really, truly sees. Listen to verse 13. She gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her. You are the God who sees me. For she said, I have now seen the one who sees me. I'm taking some poetic license here, but I imagine that after Hagar found out she was pregnant, that she was just longing to look up and catch Abram secretly watching her with love in his eyes. And even though that never happened, she did have an encounter that was 1,000,000 times better. For the first time in her life, she sees God seeing her. You get that? For the first time in her life, she sees God seeing her. And that in itself gives her the affirmation and the strength that she needs to keep on keeping on. And I think the whole purpose for us being here this morning, if I did indeed hear from the Lord correctly this week, I think the whole purpose for us being here today is for me to tell you, ladies. I don't know why not the men today, sorry fellas, but I've been called today to tell the ladies in this church, those who are watching, God sees you. He 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 has always seen you. Always. He's always seen you. When your dad passed away, he saw you. When you lost the baby, he saw you. When your uncle took your innocence, he saw you. When your husband was unfaithful, he saw you. He saw you. The sacrifices you've made, he's seen them all. When you stuck it out, he saw you. When you went back to work, even though it was hard, he saw you. When you agreed to move, he saw you. When you decided to forgive, he saw you. He has always seen you. When you lost it and you punished your child out of anger instead of out of love, he saw you. When you fantasized about being unfaithful, he saw you. When you manipulated to get your way, he saw you. When you terminated the pregnancy, he saw you. When you bent the truth to destroy somebody else's reputation, he saw you. And as sinful and horrible as that stuff is, his love for you never changed. And he offers forgiveness, complete, total, full, free forgiveness. He has always seen you. He has always known you. He has always loved you. He has seen you in the little things. Every butt you ever wiped. Every mess in those underpants you've ever cleaned. Every boo-boo you've ever kissed. Every story you've ever read. Every pep talk you've ever given. Every ear you've ever lended. Every load of laundry you've ever folded. Every hug you've ever given. He has seen you. And those things may not seem like much to you, but I think, like the little boy who brings his little fish and his little pieces of bread to Jesus, I think God takes those little sacrifices and I think he multiplies them into something beyond our ability to comprehend. You are sowing into the lives of your kids and your husbands and your families and your friends in ways that you have no idea the kind of impact that you are making, because God is taking that offering, the one who sees you is taking that offering and making it into something powerful and beautiful for the kingdom. He sees you. He sees you. And just like the woman who came and poured perfume on Jesus before his crucifixion, I think not only does he see you, I think he celebrates you for it. That's what I think. She gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her. You are the God who sees me. For she said, I have now seen the one who sees me. That is why the well was called Bir Lahai Roi. It is still there between Kadesh and Bered. The Lord appears to Hagar at the well. And at this place where she sees God seeing her, she names the well Bir Lahai Roi, well of the living one who sees me. And generations later, when this was finally written down, when this story was finally written down, generations later, that well was still there. And everybody who walked past that well and used that well and knew the name of that well was reminded of God who sees them. Generations later, they were reminded of the living one who sees me. So this morning I want to tell you, if you know it, if you know that he sees you, help others know it too. If you know that he sees you, help others know it too. Live in such a way in the midst of the good and the bad, in the midst of the glory and the pain. Live in a way that you are a well, a reminder to others that the Lord sees them the same way he sees you. So now we're going to close. Nate, I'm going to ask you to run across quick as you can. Gather up those kids, man. Bring everybody back. To those who are watching, we're going to go ahead and say goodbye. We're going to have a special time of prayer for the ladies of our church. And I just want to encourage you, maybe let this be a reminder to you, husbands, to pray for your wives, dads, pray for your daughters, boys, pray for your mamas. All right, they need it. That would probably be the best Mother's Day gift you could give them. All right, so we love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow on the live stream at 11. Happy Mother's Day.